When the evening settles and the day grows still, stories rise softly from memory's hill. These are the letters we carry inside, stories of love, loss, and pride. Welcome, my friend, to Porch Light Letters.
Hey, kia ora, Helen Brums here, coming to you live from Waikanae Beach in New Zealand. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. I'm just checking because I think I went live, but I'm not sure if I did. Like it said, no, apparently I didn't. I did a whole podcast, thought I ended it. I ended up starting it and stopping it, and I don't know what happened. But here we are. So today we have, welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2418. And today we are looking at how do I ask questions without upsetting someone? You know, family stories often touch an emotional ground. So so the way we ask is, sorry, I'm going to read that all over again. Family stories often touch emotional ground. So the way we ask questions matters. And we need to keep the person that we're interviewing, we need to be respectful of their emotions. We need to be respectful of their time and just respectful in the questions that we ask and how we ask them. So start with neutral, open invitations. Begin with questions that feel safe and conversation. I can't talk today. I am so sorry. Begin with questions that feel safe and conversational. Instead of asking about conflict or painful events immediately, we don't do that. That's a no-no. Ask about everyday life, such as school, work, neighborhood routines. What happy memories do they have about their wedding? What memories do they have about bringing new babies home? Becoming a father or a mother for the first time? Being a sibling, being introduced to their new sibling that's coming up. Just happy topics and just everyday routine topics. These topics help build trust and allow the person to become comfortable sharing. Respect emotional boundaries. Some memories carry deep emotional weight. If someone hesitates, becomes quiet, or changes the subject, it is important to respect that signal. Allowing people control over what they share helps maintain trust and preserves relationships. And that is super, super important. Next up, we have use curiosity rather than confrontation. Questions that sound investigative can feel threatening. Replace direct challenges with curiosity-based prompts such as, what do you remember about that time? Or how did people talk about it in the family? This approach invites reflection rather than defensiveness. Yeah. What did you do to your family? Why did you walk out on your family? Your first family, whatever. Yeah, let's just not do that. Let's just be respectful about that. What do you remember about bringing home your first baby? Things like that. What was it like in the household? How long was your wife if it's a husband, how long was your wife in hospital after the baby was born? Because back in the day, it was a 7-day stay. There was none of this have the baby and go home that evening. Yeah, no, it was a 7-day stay or a couple of days later. It was 7 days. Acknowledge what memories are personal. Every person experiences events differently. When asking about the past, recognize that their perspective is valid, even if it differs from others' accounts, because we know that people can experience be at the same event, but have a totally different experience. What's that movie's name? Movie is called, I think it's called Perspective, where some politician is assassinated and they start gathering and the Secret Service start gathering the evidence of people who were there and taking their perspectives and starting to put them together like pieces of a jigsaw to give them the complete picture of what happened. I'll tell you this, it leads to some twists and turns in there and some unexpected things. It's really, really cool. A respectful tone, and this is kind of what you've got to put in people's mind, that everybody has their own perspective. You could have all attended the same wedding and heard the same vows, but you may have picked it up differently. The emotions differently may have affected you differently. It could be you were thinking back to your own wedding day when you exchanged vows with your spouse. It could be that they wrote very touching vows and they just touched your heart very differently, whereas the person next to you may have had a different experience. You're watching the same thing, but you're having a different experience. So everybody has a different perspective and they are valid, even if it's different from other people's accounts. A respectful tone allows people to feel heard, rather than judged. Allow stories to unfold naturally. Sometimes the most meaningful stories appear rather than after patience and silence. Giving someone time to think can lead to deeper reflection. Rushing questions often closes doors that patience might not open. That patience might open. Putting words in my own script. Why all this matters is because respectful questions protect relationships and while still uncovering valuable history. And trust me, you could start them off in one story and that might lead them straight onto another. Don't interrupt. Just keep the recorder going, because one question may open up some memories as they're talking about that one, and they're sitting, oh, that reminds me of the time that blah 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 happened, and the next thing you know, you're completely off the script. Don't worry about it. Just let them talk. Let them talk. Practical takeaway: ask gently, listen carefully, and respect emotional boundaries. If you want help conducting respectful family interviews, send us a private message and let's set up a 30-minute discovery call that will help with some of the questions that you could ask to help lead to these stories that you want to get to. And in closing, stories grow best in conversations that feel safe. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.
The stories we carry stay bright through the night, a small steady glow in the fading light. Stories of love, loss, and pride we share until we meet again.